This is so this little bed was cut. The only thing native in here is the Dutchman's pipe going up the obelisk here. But we've got cosmos, zinnias. It's going to be a cutting garden. The alyssum around the edge, and then the dahlias that are just coming up. So we'll get those later. And then this is the bigger prairie. This is the but again, just wildflower seeds, straight up the earth. I think it was 3 years ago that I put the prairies in. Pocket prairies, they're not true. These are the fertile heads of the ostrich fern, and so they dry up in the winter. And we have, my lawnmower went kaput 2 years ago, and we got a young mowing crew that comes, and so I use these to show them don't mow here.
Might need rebar.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's Canada.
That's funny how you have the view into everybody's pools.
See my kids and my wife, they put these little signs so we, just to connect ourselves with our neighbors, neighboring properties, because we are blocked. Because there was one back there we call berry bramble because of all the invasive wine berries. We still call it that. Hemlock. Oh, one thing to make sure on the hemlock too. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the organization called Tree Savers, but the woolly adelgid, the white, which most of it's going, you can see a little bit of it.
They look healthy. I've got one.
But for those of you that aren't familiar with the, this is like decimating. Mostly
You didn't catch what that plant was that they saved the tubers from.
We were going to come.
This one tree was inflicted pretty bad. The one with not many limbs. But there's an organization up near Scranton that is the only organization in the United States that can sell a beetle. It's a type of lady beetle, it's solid black lady beetle, that actually eats exclusively the woolly adelgid. So we've been working with them. These tags are where they release them this year. So
Cool.
we will see.
Fingers crossed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Come here and look at your trees and decide where to put them.
They did. They came out a couple of times.
You know what, Karen, they'll know you for your tags. So no worries.
And they can only set the beetles about. They come
There's
in
a
the
big
fall, they
woodpecker.
determine how many beetles they need to grow out because it's pretty.
Pointing to a
Big woodpecker. He just jumped.
And then they released them about 3 or 4.
See him?
Oh, yep.
It's good size.
The woodpecker.
So these are some of the.
Right there. Yeah. It's jumping around a lot.
It's just putting out its little yellow lips, the Maryland Indian pink over there. You have all of the yellow loosestrife, not the invasive stuff like this over wetlands. Those were Bowman's plants. All of the native geranium that's in here, which there are, I think there are about a dozen of them. The green and gold over there, the little yellow flower that's it's just the spreading ground cover, that was also a Bowman plant. This guy here. Oh, these weren't Bowman plants, but I put them in here. So this is Bowman's root. Y'all are nodding. Most people have never heard of Bowman's root. It's also called Indian cycling. But I mean, they get up maybe about this big. These were little guys that she's back there. Nancy and I both got these guys last year, and so they get up about this big. But when they're, for any of you that know Wara, the whirling butterflies, it looks very much like that, but it's a really hardy native. I really like the look of it. This guy is, these two guys also came from Bowman's, and now
They run like tropical weight.
totally lost my,
Sounds like an agar something.
When we were going to Costa Rica.
Shoot.
it'll come.
I thought I knew the name of it.
Which one?
Oh, we
No,
have
that's not
we
the
have
one
the
I'm thinking.
anesthetic goldenrod back here, the woodland sunflower back here. So those are both late season blooms. So at the end of the summer, you have all this yellow wall that will be back here. And then here's the zizia. When it's happy, and I saw someone bringing zizia to give away today. But these guys, these were again another thing Dave split off on me, and they were super tiny last year when I put them in, so they've been very happy.
Zizia. Golden Alexander.
Same here.
Yeah, sometimes I go Latin and sometimes I go common.
Yeah. It's good to know the Latin.
Yeah. Nine bark back here just finished. It's bloomed. Interestingly enough, if any of you have 9 bark, it is done. How long is it? 3 weeks as a cut flower on our dining room table. And
Wow.
the flowers have, like, as long as you don't move the vase. If you move the vase, the flowers start to fall. But it looks gorgeous. And these faded after a week. So, fringe tree.
I didn't either.
Little guy still. The native raspberry back there. It just went in last year as well.
Chinese.
The Chinese one is heavy. Hot and sucks up moisture.
I also like sedges, so they're good at just filling in. So this is actually oh my goodness, I just lost it. This is big. We'll just keep them as sedges. What's that? Bluestem? Yeah. Little no, it's carrot. I mean, they're all carrots. I lost this guy in particular. I had I think I ordered 6 or 8 plants from Prairie Nursery 5 years ago, and now it's a couple of hundred around the country. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I like the way that camouflages in the weeds.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a couple of
I never thought of that.
Aralia racemosa. So for nerdy plant people, this is its first full year. But it's a shrub that dies totally down to the ground, but then it can get 4 to 5 feet. And then puts out these nice little berries toward the end of the season. This is Tiarella. There you go.
Yeah.
I think they do make cucarellas now that are like hybridized between the two.
Yeah. My leaves are mine. Totally different.
This is not the running type. There are some. I have one in the front bed that took off and which is nice. But these are the clumping. Creek sedge. I'll remember the sedges. Creek sedge, palm sedge. Springle sedge is one of the names for this. This is the one that I got 6 of them, and now, like every year, I just split them into 5 more pieces. And then we can come up here. Oh, little water garden that we put in. Frogs and snakes. We've had what? Did we count 8 or 9 garter snakes that just early in the season they were just every day they would come out and they would just pile up beside the water feature. For about a month, they stayed with us, and now we see 2. Like they just decided they were done, like being a family, and they all need to go to school. Yeah, and then y'all are welcome to come up here.
Very cool.
So we had to move our herb garden because it was under the shade tree over there. but her requirement was it must be near the kitchen, which our kitchen's right there. So this winter, my projects were making hypatufa containers. Some of them are fake. Some of them are, and by fake I mean this is actually a styrofoam cooler, and I just took the mixture and plastered it over the top because I just didn't want to. I was like, okay, I don't have enough to make a big one like that on my own. This one I just took a strawberry pot that was kind of chipped, and I just like, okay, I'll just plaster the mixture over. These are all true, like the hypertufas. They drain really easily. The other thing I found, so I don't know if any of y'all are Gardening World fans, the British BBC show. But they're always using grit, like more grit, put more grit, more grit, more grit into everything. Well, grit's expensive, but what I found is oyster shell from Tractor Supply is super cheap.
That's perfect.
And it puts some calcium back into the soil. Tomatoes like it. I don't know about everything else. But
Yeah, cool, cool.
And that is your tomatoes.
Super.
yeah. I don't. A little bit.
Yeah.
Ours is here. Oh, really? Give it a shot. See.
Remember you'd use gravel.
You've really done an amazing amount. This is great.
It is my hobby. De-stressor and COVID environment when you're working from home. It's like, oh, that hour I was commuting every morning, an hour I commuted every day, like it's 2 hours in the garden.
There you go. Walk outside, do lunchtime.
And then this is the cultivar of our native hydrangea. It's the Haas Halo variety. So in May, in 2 weeks' time, when the tour comes, I may have some halos popping out there. And then these are just the stilbies. There was one plant that the previous owners had, and now I split it this year, and it's turned into 3 over there. Yeah, it was a massive Astilbe, and I was like, I can cut a bunch out of
There you
this.
go. Yeah. Need to do more of that.
Haas Halo.
Hydrangea.
Hydrangea. I think I have it. And they said it's native. I didn't know that it was a
Yeah,
native.
I've never even seen that.
Yeah. So when it flowers, the outer edge blossoms, but the inside edges don't. As much, so that makes it look like a halo.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's for? Okay.
Yeah. And Joan Haas is one of the master gardeners, and a friend of hers got it patented under her name. I love that pasta.
Yeah. Huge. Obviously, there's no deer around.
Yeah, well, or they haven't found it.
Yeah.
Put in a bunch of French drains. But when the water's flowing, it's like a river. So this year I'm going to this
It's good swale.
this small swaley creek thing that we put in is going to swing much more broadly, build up size,
It'll capture this
fill it
area.
with rock, and try to slow it down as much as I can. And then still have this little wetland area at the bottom, just to try to help her out, help all of us out, because we're just keeping rain on our property as much as we can.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to do.
Yeah. And we do have some pawpaws maybe blooming in another couple years. But I have 4 of them in here.
I see 2. 1, 2.
Yeah, and they're 2 online.
You can come see me.
Just they were bare root, although I did actually Geno's. I'm gonna give so Geno's is my go-to for I love working with Gino and Mayor, who is always at the nursery. So I owe a lot of credit to them. In addition to Bowman's, Geno's is my other resource for much of what is on here.
And Tree Authority has them too.
Tree
Authority.
I have not been to see him. I've seen him online,
Yeah.
but he looks good.
Yeah. So I see 2. Where are the other 2?
They're smaller guys.
Okay.
They're
Kind
down
of
there
down
with
low.
with the bee balm.
You got the perfect spot. Needs a lot of water, a lot of compost. They'll do good.
Trying. Actually, I do. My garden beds are hugelkultur, if you know that. So I dug them out deep. I laid down old logs, and then I just piled the earth and compost back on top. So my raised beds, which are a little bit mounded in the middle, that's why there's decomposing tree matter
Great.
under all of that. So.
Love it.
You practice as well? Yeah. Yes, and they're free. So we have a tree guy that, if you have a load and you're close, I can just rock them all.
What do you think?
What are we gonna have to
Awesome.
know about?
Like, what are we doing?
So do the pawpaws get much sun at any particular times? Let's see.
I think you need to ask him. Right here.
West is here, right? And where's the sunrise?
So the
Sunrise is
sunrise
over there.
sets
Sunset's
over there.
there.
So it's
it'll
north
get-
facing.
Yeah.
So this gets in the morning.
It'll get some.
Yeah, it gets morning sun. So we're really hopeful about the Pawpaw Grove, over time.
Cool. Oh, and I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So
Well,
this
that
is-
probably
he's
dries
added
up
this.
eventually, right?
It does. It's,
Okay.
So clearly it's filled, but it was dry for like 3 weeks straight until the last few days that it's filled in nicely. So we've got bullfrogs down here as well.
So it kind of spills out into her swale.
It does actually.
And goes
She's
down
got a
that way.
series of French drains,
Okay.
and what's really nice is that our gardening has sort of extended into what she's really interested in. So she's got a water retention area that she's considering
Oh,
building
cool.
up as well
Yeah,
because
good,
of
good.
it. So what we're doing
Right.
here there'll be some
Continue.
continuity.
Very cool, yeah.
We're actually probably likely going to extend some of this. We just had.
Yeah, he
as
was
part of
saying
the-
this looks like the low spot. Oh, no, that looks like a perfect spot, though.
Yeah, maybe expanding it into more of like a floodplain, not gouging it, but really widening it to manage the wood floor just a little bit better. Because there was nothing here before, so
Oh.
for us, this is a work in progress.
Right,
We just had
yeah.
a woodshed expert out to
Good,
help
good.
us understand that.
Yeah.